I'm Stephanie.
I'm Meredith.
Welcome to This Is My Circus.
I'm so glad Rex is moving around a little bit
Oh
better.
my gosh. So I took him to the vet
Yep.
and well, he had to get his shots and all the
Yeah,
annual stuff
maintenance stuff.
anyway.
Yeah.
I just started going to York Vet
hmm
and they are wonderful.
Good.
Amazing. Like every single person I encountered there was fabulous.
Good. Was this your first visit with them?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So I told you he was having trouble getting up and moving
Yeah.
around and he couldn't get into the car and you got to see me trying to get him in
Oh,
the car.
he weighs more than you.
But he did great when we got there. I was like a little bit nervous. He likes little dogs,
hmm
but he doesn't necessarily do great with bigger dogs. So I
Yeah.
didn't know how it was set up, if
Yeah.
there was going to be a lot of dogs there.
What was going on? Yeah.
So he did wonderful.
Of course he did.
He did great for his shots and all that kind of stuff. And then they brought him back into the room after they did all his testing and whatever. And I'm sitting there, and this girl comes in, and she's like, "I just have to tell you, he's the sweetest dog." And I was
Oh.
sitting on the floor, just like, separating stuff. She's like, he came over and just sat right in front of me and was like, "Give me some love."
Oh, that's so. I am not surprised one bit.
I was like, "Yeah, he's really
I am
sweet."
not surprised one bit. He is super sweet. And I was going to ask you if he had like all of the vet techs like fallen in love with him.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. He's super chill. And they're like, "We wish that he could train all of our other clients
Yeah.
on how to behave."
He is so. I still cannot believe that you guys found him. Like I still cannot believe as he's the
And
goodest boy.
I say it all the time. Like it was sent from up above.
Yeah.
Somebody sent me him when I needed him.
Yeah,
100%.
absolutely.
He saved me as much as I saved him. So
Oh, yeah.
yes,
Well,
I adore him.
he's the goodest boy.
They said they think it's
Yeah,
dysplasia. They gave us an anti-inflammatory
good.
and some pain meds and 2 weeks of restriction, which he has not been happy about.
Yeah.
So
I bet he's doing a lot of huffing at you, huh?
we have like a path that we take every day, like
Yeah.
a routine of our walk, and so we've only been doing one block instead of like the whole neighborhood. And so he keeps trying to like pull me to go for the rest of the
To the
walk,
regulars.
and I'm like, dude, we can't. But he's doing awesome. He can get in the car
Good.
again, and I don't have to
Good.
like try to like heave him up and
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad, babies. Well, I'm glad. He already looks like he's moving a lot better from just a few days ago. Okay, now back to recording. Sorry. You know where my priorities lie. Okay, so you listened to our book?
I did.
Okay, so I had thought I had listened to this before, and I had not. Once I
Okay.
got into it, I was like, yeah, this is not familiar at all. So,
So I listened to it right when it first released
okay,
as an audiobook.
okay.
And it all started coming back.
Do you have the blurb?
I do.
Cool.
All right. So we read None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell.
Mm-hmm.
Celebrating her 45th birthday at her local pub, popular podcaster Alex, that's a tongue twister.
Yeah.
Popular podcaster.
At her local pub, popular podcaster. Yeah, that's really difficult.
Popular podcaster Alex Simmer crosses paths with an unassuming woman called Josie Fair. Josie, it turns out, is also celebrating her 45th birthday. They are, in fact, birthday twins. A few days later, Alex and Josie bump into each other again, this time outside Alex's children's school. Josie has been listening to Alex's podcast and thinks she might be an interesting subject for her series. She tells Alex, on the cusp of great changes in her life. Josie's life appears to be strange and complicated, and although Alex finds her unsettling, she can't quite resist the temptation to keep making the podcast. Slowly, she starts to realize that Josie has been hiding some very dark secrets, and before she knows it, Josie has inveigled her way into Alex's life and into her home. That's a really weird word.
That is a weird word.
Inveigled. I've never heard that
Inveigled.
before.
Don't think I have either.
But
Finagled, yes.
yes, that's a weird
Okay.
way to say it. Okay. But as quickly as she arrived, Josie disappears. Only then does Alex discover that Josie has left a terrible and terrifying legacy in her wake, and that Alex has become the subject of her own true crime podcast, with her life and her family's lives under mortal threat.
So, off the top, in retrospect, after reading this book, it reminds me of Verity a little
Similar.
bit because I felt like I never knew what was going on.
Yeah. Even at the end, you're
Right.
still left with a what happened?
That's exactly how I feel.
Yeah.
I still feel like, what? Like,
Mhm.
what? I really feel like I need to go back and listen to it again. I don't
Even
think
then,
I'm,
like it still wouldn't, I don't think, give you the answers you're looking for.
it
And I
was
think that the author did that on purpose. I think that it was intentionally left that way to give you that like mind F
yeah,
of
yeah. I'm very unsatisfied with this book.
are you?
Like, I don't have, and not that I necessarily want a good, warm feeling after every book, because some books just are better if they don't end that way.
Mhm.
But I just feel like the book's not done.
Okay.
So you mentioned that you weren't a fan of Josie.
No. So, and I really thought it was going to go a different way. And
Uh-huh.
I'm glad I re-listened to it because I would not have
Yeah.
remembered
Yeah.
everything.
Well, there was so much effery.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. What did you think of Josie?
Well, at first, I felt terrible for her. I mean, I really felt she was the victim of these abuses and circumstances that were just terrible. And I felt that her life had just spiraled and she was, quote, in too deep to, to address any of these things. Like, I really felt bad for her. She sucked me in.
Mhm.
Like, I really thought that she was the victim of being groomed by an abuser and then taken advantage of by the abuser and then her family. I felt bad for her. And then of course that flipped. And now I don't know how I feel about her. So yeah, she drew me in.
Okay. So I really thought it was going to go a different way. I
Mhm.
thought she was going to try to take over Alex's life.
I
I thought that
I
that's where
kind
it
of
was going.
like when she moved in and kind of wouldn't leave and yeah, I kind of felt that was going to come too.
I thought she was going to try to seduce the husband. I thought she
Mhm.
was going to do all these other things that she
Yeah.
didn't do, which I was happy because then I was
Yes.
going to hate her even more and I didn't want to go down that road.
There's only so much hate
I
that I
know.
can.
But what a great time for a pandemic for Josie to hit
Yes.
when all this is happening because you
Yes.
can hide in plain sight. You have a mask on all the time.
Right.
Like not that there's ever a good timing.
That was just a great camouflage for her with it being that time.
Yeah.
And even, I mean, hopefully there's no criminals that listen to our show, but I mean, but even now, it's still not uncommon to see people wearing masks 3 years after the fact. I don't even question it anymore.
Do you follow the York County Sheriff page or the police
I
page?
think so.
And they put all the people that like the shoplifters like
Yeah.
wanted and they're all wearing masks.
Are they?
Again, you're so used to seeing people in masks that it
Yes,
does you
it's
don't
not a
think
thing
about it.
anymore.
And it's the perfect way to cover up.
Yeah. I remember back when like bird flu was first a thing, and we would see pictures from like China and videos of people wearing masks, and we thought they were the weirdest things in the world. And then all of a sudden, a few years later, here we all were masked up.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. It was a good way for her to, like you said, hide in plain sight
Yeah.
and just wear that mask and be out and about.
Yeah. I had a lot of feelings about the letter that Josie sent at the end.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was gross
Yeah.
that she was almost yelling at her for being
Yeah.
upset and putting this out there.
Yeah.
And like she's like, "Well, you can't be mad at me because it was an accident that I did this."
Right.
No, like
Yeah.
it was so it was so like entitled and like
Right. Narcissistic
it
and
just
yeah.
made me mad.
Yeah.
Mm.
I hated a lot of the things that she did. Like I said, she really sucked me in and made me think that she was the victim of all these things. And then she made her children victims. She almost like a, what's it called? Something by proxy. Almost like
Yeah.
a Munchausen's by proxy,
Yeah.
but just spreading lies about victimization and stuff like that. And it upset me because I felt like the things that this mom made dirty, for lack of a better word, were pure moments in with the dad and the daughter.
But was it?
But right. Yep.
So that was my next question.
Yeah.
Do you think that Erin was abused her daughter?
I don't know. I still, and maybe that's why I just feel so unsettled about it because I don't know. What do you think?
I think she was. And here, listen, hear me out.
Okay.
Because they said that the dad was in her room all the time helping her with her streaming and
Right.
making comments. But when the other streamers came forward looking for Erin, they said it was always silent. And that's why they knew something was wrong because they heard a commotion. So if dad was in the background all the time commenting and like being like
Yeah.
goofy, then they wouldn't have said it was always silent all the time.
Yeah.
So I don't believe that side of it. I don't believe he was
Okay.
helping her. Also, like what was he doing on his computer all the time?
Yeah, that was iffy too.
He's old and he's retired and he was constantly on his computer. I thought it was going to come out that it was like bad
Children.
things. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they never touched on that. I thought that that was going to have a piece of the book of
Right.
like confirming
Right.
at the end,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah. And
But
again, maybe that's why I feel so ugh, because there's no hard evidence.
so also like with like the baby food, like
Yes.
baby food and stuff,
Yes.
it's almost like she was regressing.
Retrogressing. Hmm.
And I know that they said that she had autism,
Yes.
but I think that it was like a regression from abuse
The abuse,
personally.
which is what she said initially,
Hmm.
which was that was what she had said. So it's like was some of her stuff true
Yeah.
and some not. Well, and think about this too. I mean, she did marry dude when she was really young.
And
So I
he
mean,
started grooming her at 13.
right. So he already was, a bad guy.
So also the smells coming from her room, right? Like so
Yes.
if she was being abused, a lot of people when they are being abused in
Mm-hmm.
that way stop taking care of themselves to try
Mm-hmm.
to be repulsive
Oh yeah, that's a good
to the abuser.
between that and just depression
Yeah.
too. You're right. Yeah, you're right.
It points to it. I mean, I could be totally off, but
Yeah. Well, I think it's kind of like open-ended, make your own assumptions, but you convinced me. I mean, that obviously didn't take much, but yeah, no, you're right. And it's so hard because I do want everything Josie said to be a lie because that was kind of the feeling that you got after things started coming to light. But I guess she wasn't, which makes it hard to hate her.
Oh, I still think the whole kidnapping and
Oh yeah.
like there's still plenty to hate. Who do you think killed Brooke? Do you think it was Josie or do you think it was Roxy?
No, I think it was Roxy.
I do too.
Okay.
100%.
Yeah.
And so that leads me to believe that when she was telling Alex, don't believe anything that you're hearing, you're going to hear all this bad
All the stuff
stuff
about me, yeah.
She knew her daughter was a psycho.
Yeah.
And she knew, and so besides the kidnapping and the quote unquote mental death,
Right.
was everything else like legit?
Mm-hmm.
Because Alex met her mom.
Yeah.
Alex met Josie's mom and immediately said, this is a narcissist.
Right.
Kids don't come out of this type of relationship with a narcissistic parent unscathed.
Yeah.
So I almost want to say like at least 70% of what Josie said was legit.
It was just everything else that she said and did that made her so, like the staying in the house and not wearing her own clothes that were right there. That was so weird to me. Like that, your face is just, yeah, that was just so like, fine, let me borrow some clothes on mine, get washed. I really appreciate it. But as soon as I'm changing back into mine and washing yours for you.
Do you think that's because hers were bloody? And she didn't want to put them back on because they had the blood of whoever?
No, I think she was just messed up in the head.
I know she was messed up.
Yeah, because she had washed her clothes.
Who did the phone case belong to? When the cops were returning the things and they said they had extra
Yes.
stuff, who else was like?
No, but that was another like Easter egg. Not even an Easter egg. What is it called? Where
Like
there's just
WTF?
a red herring.
Yeah, the whole thing was.
I know this book was, and it was actually kind of hard to follow towards the end because I felt like it did go so many places.
Yeah.
I had a little bit of a struggle. I think the accents threw me off with that one. I don't know why.
What was with the denim, like the constant wearing of the denim?
I don't know.
I thought that was kind of a bigger like significance.
I did too.
And
I thought there was going to be like a human body made of denim or something.
And then what did you think of Josie's mom telling everybody that that was her boyfriend first and that Josie stole him? That was, I think that she liked William and he didn't want her.
Yeah.
I think that was her in her narcissistic way
Mm-hmm.
as spinning the story that's why they didn't get together.
Well, when she first started saying it, I was like, oh, well, that makes sense. Like, I started to believe her. Maybe I'm just really gullible. Like, I didn't even know. I was just all over the place with trying to figure out what was true and what was not.
It would make a really good movie.
It would. It would make a really good movie.
Like a Lifetime movie, not like a theater movie.
No. Yeah, the whole thing left me, like I said, unsatisfied, confused, not sure what.
But you know what made me super sad, but like, aw, was that he was not trying to hook up with all these people while he was like having all these benders. Like he was like truly, truly in love with her.
Yeah.
And then that made it even more sad.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed.
For his demise.
Yeah, agreed. I don't drink a lot. Rarely. But I just couldn't imagine that lifestyle of just, well, he's just on a bender. He'll call me when he comes home.
Yeah, wondering if he's going to come home. I mean, that'd be stressful.
Where is he? I could not imagine.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine the hangover either.
I don't drink very often either. It's like once in a very, very blue moon.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, every time I have drank, I'm the next day I'm like, this isn't even worth it.
Yeah.
I'm too old for this.
Right. I do not bounce back like I used to in my early 20s.
Yeah. So what would you rate the book?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't. I mean, I liked it but didn't like it, if that makes sense. Probably a 6. Like I wouldn't recommend it to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel good about it. I didn't like the book.
Okay.
But I don't think it was poorly written. I think it was a cool story. I just think that I didn't like it.
Did you not like the writing style of the double twists?
No, I was okay with that, but I just felt like we didn't wrap up enough at the end for me to feel satisfied is just a word that just keeps coming to mind. Like, I don't want warm and fuzzies, like I said all the time, but just to feel like some kind of conclusion, or even if they left you hanging in a good way, like that book we read a few weeks ago, you know, with the twist at the end when they uncovered some bodies.
Yeah.
And then they had the sequel that came out.
Mm-hmm.
That was just like, oh, I want more. This is just like,
You know what I did like about the ending though?
What?
When that was towards the end, was how Alex ended the podcast of calling her the basic V.
Yeah.
And that like really triggered
Her,
Josie.
Josie to write yeah.
Yeah. And then when she was on the bus at the end and the girls were talking about how it got made into a Netflix series, and they actually believed Josie. So I think
Yeah.
I liked the book. Like, I don't know if I would read it again because I
Again.
well, I had to read it again.
Yeah.
This, but like I don't know if I would be like, oh my God, I need to read this again.
Right.
But I thought it was okay. I'd say like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
I think it's like a good like beach summer read.
Okay, I'm gonna read it again, and I'll let you know what I think after it. Because maybe I just got, I don't know. I don't mind like the double twist and that kind of thing. I don't know. So read it if you want to. Neither one of us would like pay you to read it.
No.
But I looked at our list,
Uh-huh.
and there was holds on several of them that we couldn't get for a while. So because of the wait list, we're gonna do Did You Hear About Kitty Carr by Crystal Smith Paul.
You got it.
Perfect. I said that.
Awesome.
So great.
So did you I found this so funny. Like it just made me giggle that Ozzy Osborne was complaining about Britney Spears' Instagram and that he's sick of seeing her dance.
Oh my gosh. Are you serious?
It was so funny that Ozzy follows Britney.
That is hilarious. First of all, the fact that he has Instagram and he looks at it enough to get sick of somebody.
I thought it just tickled me.
That is
I
great.
It was so funny.
That is great. Would not have pictured him as
No.
being a Britney follower.
So then
Yeah.
I haven't been on Instagram in forever other than just to post.
Yeah.
And so I went to go look at her Instagram and I love Britney.
Yeah.
I am
Yeah.
huge fan. But I just want her to get her bikini bottoms like a little bit bigger.
A little bit bigger.
Because they just look like they're like
almost about to fall off.
They look like they're like a little kids that she's just trying to like get on, you know what I mean? Like they're like this big.
Yeah.
And like they don't I don't know. Like
she always has. Is she still doing the hip thing where they're like really low on her hips?
Yes.
Is that so? Yeah.
And it looks like if she turns around, her crack's going to be hanging out.
Yeah. Well, and it probably is. But I feel like she should know that that's not the trend anymore.
Yeah. There was one, and I don't think that that's her. Again, I think
Right.
I think she's missing. I don't know. I don't want to believe that that's her because it doesn't look like her. But yeah, she had one video. She's like, my first high waist bikini, and it was like a regular like bikini.
It was not the.
It wasn't like a high waist,
right?
Like a whatever.
Which those are so cute. They look like the pinups.
So they're not flattering on me, but they are adorable.
Bathing suits in general. So you still think Britney's that's an AI?
I don't think. Well, I don't know if it's an AI. I think that there's probably a lookalike that they have out there, whatever. But
Britney.
it just doesn't look like her.
Yeah.
Like her face structure, it just doesn't to me look like her.
Well, I brought up AI, so let me tell you a funny story.
Okay.
So the Bojangles and Clover has started using like AI for its drive-through. I know. It's pretty fancy.
So it talks to you?
Yes. So, welcome to Bojangles. How can we help you? And you tell them you're ordering, you get tenders, they ask what sauce. It does it all. It freaks me out. The first time was really bad. Like I just stared slack jaw at the drive-through thing and was like, whatever. So, okay, Jackson's a big boy. He likes to it's a 4-piece snack, which all that is 4 Supremes. And then sometimes he gets 2 of those and no fries or anything. Well, today he wanted 2 of those and then like a small bow round. Cool, got it. So I get to the drive-through and it's AI and it freaks me out. And I don't know. I guess I ordered the 4-piece snack, a 4-piece snack with bow round. The end. Like that's all I said. Well, I get to the window and she hands me 2 drinks. And I texted Jackson while I was waiting on the order and I was like, bro, I don't know what I just ordered because AI scares me and a little freaks me out. So I just got 2 drinks. And he said, what did you order? I said, I have no idea. It ended up being right. I don't know why we got drinks, but we went with it. And they were drinks we liked. Like he likes pink lemonade and it was Dr. Pepper for me. But I didn't even order anything. And there were no drinks in my order.
Mind reading.
I guess. It's just too much.
Was there somebody before you or after you?
No.
Oh, that's weird.
It was really weird. And it is a lady. I wonder why they have ladies and not men voices.
Well, you can change your Siri voice to a man.
That's true. And like the accents and stuff. That's true.
So maybe they did like a focus group, and the focus group said,
which one's the most like welcoming or whatever. Yeah, that's true.
speaking of focus group, did you see that thing I tagged you in about the focus group jury? That they
Yes.
pay you to be a fake jury?
Why can't we do that?
I filled out the form.
Did you
I
really?
did. So their in-person ones are only in 3 locations in South Carolina, and like
Okay.
they're all kind of far away.
Okay.
But they also do online focus group juries. So it said to fill it out, and then if anything becomes available for you, that they will reach out.
You know, now that you said that, I've actually done this before.
Really?
Yes. So a friend of mine works at a lawyer
Uh-huh.
in North Carolina.
Uh-huh.
And they were looking for focus group out of South Carolina because that's where that stuff was going to get whatever, where the suit was.
Mhm.
And it was very interesting. It was very, very interesting. I need to follow up and see what happened with that case. It was really interesting because like the lawyer said like, okay, this is the story. And very high level, this is the story. And then he was like, okay, same story, but add this to it.
Mhm.
And then everybody gave their opinion. And then same story, but add this to it. And like kept going in more detail over what happened. It was very interesting. Yeah.
And it was in person?
No, it was online.
Okay.
It was virtual.
When I was looking at it, it said that if you did like the Friday one, because it was shorter hours, it was like 4 hours, it was like $100 payment. And then Saturday was a full 8 hours, and that was like a $200 payment, I think.
Okay.
But I was like, that is so cool.
Yeah, I think I got like $50 or something like that for it, which I mean, it was just a neat thing to be a part of.
Yeah.
The story was too that there was a wreck and trying to figure out who was at fault.
Uh-huh.
But come to find out, the person that was driving the vehicle was not from the state, and somebody else had rented the vehicle for them. They were not a licensed driver. So they were like, okay, whose fault is it? Is it the person who hit them? Is it the person who rented the vehicle? Or is it and they were contracted through a church for like a fleet of vehicles. So it was like, is the church at fault? Is the rental facility at fault? Like, who do you think is at fault? So it just kind of, it started with like, do you think that they are at fault for hitting this person? And you're like, well, yeah. And then you start hearing all this like, well, they shouldn't have even had a car anyway. So it was pretty cool. Yeah.
I've said this before. I don't want to be responsible for somebody's future of jail or not jail.
Right.
That whole thing freaks me out.
Yeah.
That Aubreigh Wyatt case.
Yes.
So the mom had her hearing yesterday to get her social media back. She did get it back.
Good.
They lifted the ban. The other 4 families dropped the extra whatever case, the criminal case that they were trying to go against her for slander. But it's not over because they left it open where they can go back and refile more charges against her. And they said that they were going after civil matters or something.
Yeah.
But I think that they're just trying to wait until everything dies down online and then try to sneak it in under the radar so they don't get all the heat. She did like a live yesterday on TikTok. I got teary. She was like, I can't thank you guys enough. When I couldn't speak for my baby, you all did it for me.
Oh,
and
heck yeah.
so
that's awesome.
she's like, the power of community, and I can't thank my community enough for being there when I couldn't be there. So
That's
it was
awesome.
such a wonderful, lovely message that she put out.
Totally.
So
good.
Yeah, good for her. Yay, yay for Heather. It's not over because they're gonna come after her again.
Yes.
But
something like that I feel like it's never going to be over.
No. Speaking of hating people,
Yeah.
Did you see all these people that we said last week saying all these like super hateful things about the attempted assassination of Trump and saying like they missed or a couple centimeters over and
Right.
they're all losing their jobs. A lot of them lost their jobs.
Really?
Because of course everything you put out on the internet is
it's there for everybody to see. Yep.
So there were several people. I've seen at least like 10 different stories on this in the past week of people losing their jobs because of what they're putting out there on the internet.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
Okay, so the Secret Service guy that took out the shooter,
right?
He asked for clearance for 2 minutes to take the dude out, and his superiors refused to give him clearance to take the guy out. He had him in his line of sight for 2 minutes. Did not get the okay from his superiors. He said, I was asking for clearance and was told no.
I'm kind of speechless.
Right?
So they just don't, I mean, I guess it's kind of good that they just don't have free reign to if they feel like there's a threat to whatever, but who are you
But if
asking?
you've got
If you're the head of the Secret Service, who are
he
you
has
asking
an
for clearance from?
AK-47 or whatever on
Right.
top of a building with the president or
And with all the other people. I mean,
Mhm.
what if he just would have opened fire
Yeah.
on everybody?
But we were all like, how did they not have him in sight? How did they
Yeah.
not see him before
He
they
didn't
shot?
give
But
the
they did
green
see
light.
him,
Mm.
but they were refused.
For him to do
Yeah.
that. That's cuckoo. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So it makes you just really think like this was really an
Yeah.
inside job,
Yeah.
I think.
I mean, the more that comes out about it, the more I just am curious about all the things. Why would they deny him that? I don't know. That makes no sense.
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
Mhm.
I mean, even just to clip him in the shoulder or something. I'm not saying necessarily kill him or whatever. That's weird. I'm ready for this election to be over.
Same. Well, I saw something that Biden's dropping out
I've
soon
been hearing that too.
this weekend. I didn't think he's supposed to make
I
his
don't
speech.
even know who would be the potential replacement for him.
Kamala is apparently supposed to be running now.
Oh, really?
Um,
I haven't seen her in a long time. This whole thing is just a effed up mess.
I do love that all of these like rappers and like hip hop people are
Uh-huh.
coming out. Did you see the Latinos for Trump or whatever?
No.
It's like this group and it's these Latin guys and they have all these songs for Trump.
Really?
And then Amber Rose, who
Yep.
used to date Kanye, made this speech
Okay.
about how the first two times she was anti-Trump, and then her
Mhm.
dad was like, "Do you even know what you're talking about? Like, do you know what you're voting for?"
Yeah.
And she wanted to prove her dad wrong, so she went and did her own research and found she was wrong this entire time
Mhm.
about her beliefs or
Mhm.
what she was.
What she thought she was voting for
Right.
or what she thought somebody believed in. Yeah.
So I think that is a huge message that she put out there
Yeah.
for younger people or even people our age that you can't take everything at face value on both
Right.
sides. I'm not
Well,
saying one
and
side or the
not
other.
just politics.
Yeah.
But in everything, like do your own research. Don't take anything at face
Right.
value. Just give yourself a little bit of knowledge,
Mhm.
no matter if it's about politics or if it's about religion or whatever.
Yeah.
Dig into it yourself a little bit.
But she did a music video with the Latinos for Trump.
Did she?
Yeah.
That is great. That is great.
Beautiful. Like she is so
Yeah,
pretty.
she is.
Um,
She is. She is really pretty.
so I thought it was a great message. Again, I'm not saying vote one way or the other, but
Right.
just to do your own research on your own values and which candidate it best suits what you believe in.
Right. Absolutely. Well, and then for you to have the, kahunas to admit when you were wrong about something,
Yeah.
no matter, again, which side you're on, but to do your own research and be like, well, dang, I didn't know. So,
Our boy Snoop did the same thing. He came out.
Snoopy.
Mhm.
Snoop D-O double G. Love him. We hadn't broke out in song yet this week.
No.
Still early.
Yeah, we still got time.
Oh my goodness.
Did you hear anything about that influencer, Kat Torres?
Yeah, is she the one that died?
No,
Oh, then no.
she just got sentenced to 8 years.
What did she do?
So for trafficking in human slavery. She is from Brazil.
Okay.
She was a Instagram model, whatever, something or other.
Yeah.
And came over from Brazil to model here. And she made a life for herself here as a guru,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
But she had flown some of her fans to come live with her to get out of their situations that they didn't want to be in. So they were here, I believe, illegally.
Mm-hmm.
She was like forcing them to
Oh.
like clean, I mean, do everything for her.
Oh.
And then started making them work at a strip club, forcing them, saying that they had to make $2,000 a night.
Oh.
And if they didn't make $2,000 a night, they had to sleep on the streets.
Oh, geez.
And she was keeping all of the money.
That sounds like a movie.
Yeah, so crazy, right? So these two women from Brazil, their families are to report them missing.
Mm-hmm.
They find out like they've been in contact with this chick. And so the FBI opened an investigation here and they find the women. Well, she actually started getting heat in Texas. She was in Texas.
Okay.
She started getting heat in Texas and so she up and left. Well, she's also a self-proclaimed witch. And so she was threatening these people around her with putting curses on them and all this like other stuff. So they leave this mansion that I guess she stopped making rent payments and stuff. The neighbor said when they left, they found like all these voodoo dolls and like all this like witchcraft stuff
That kind of stuff freaks me out.
in the house. and she moved to Maine. And so the cops in Maine did a wellness check
Okay.
and started seeing red flags because the girls were super apprehensive about speaking without her permission
Mm-hmm.
and all these things. So, long story short, they deport the two girls back to their families in Brazil.
Okay.
She gets, I think, I don't know if she was arrested here or she got deported there, and they did the press charges there for trafficking.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's got 8 years in prison now
Oh my
in
gosh.
Brazil.
Ooh, it's even worse. I mean,
I don't know what, yeah, what
I don't know either. I just know American prisons are cush compared to.
other, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought that was just bananas. Like,
That
she,
is
like,
crazy.
had, yeah, for like forcing people to work for her, not paying them.
Right. And taking what money they do make. I mean, that's like a pimp.
Yeah. Well, I think they said there was 20 women have come forward and had similar stories.
Wow.
But the two that she got caught with,
Yeah.
I guess the families reported them missing.
Well, I'm glad they followed that. Yeah.
People are wacky, man.
Wouldn't expect that from somebody like that. But you
Mm-mm.
just, I wouldn't have expected a lot of things that we've come
Encountered?
lately, especially with the whole T Diddy thing and
Oh my God. That whole thing, but it got super quiet about everything.
I know it's crazy,
It's
isn't it?
like creepy. Why? Like it just went silent. Why? Like where did it all go?
That's a great question. That's a great question.
I mean, 'cause that's all you heard about for weeks, and then it just went dead silent. Did he pay people off to like stop talking about it?
I just think that there's probably something else that we're all talking about now instead of that. What are we talking about now? What,
Nothing?
the election
I don't know.
and all the stuff going on with the debates and
Yeah. I still think that it just kind of like all disappeared.
it did. It did.
Did you listen to Eminem's new CD or album?
No, but I heard it wasn't great.
I loved it.
Okay. Well,
Weird.
I'm taking that from Jackson, who he does like Eminem, but
Kids like though, like
I know. I know. I'll give it a listen.
I liked it.
Okay.
There's one song on there that he is talking to his kids like
Mhm.
after he died, like as if
Okay.
after he died, and I was bawling.
Oh,
Oh,
he's
like
got more than one kid?
well, he has Haley,
Yep.
and then he has Kim's like love child from like another man. He I think
He's raised them.
right,
Okay.
and another child, I think it was his niece,
Okay.
also raised her.
Oh, he's a good dude.
He is, and but the song,
I'll have to
like,
listen to that one especially.
oh my God, it's
Yeah.
bawling. And then on TikTok, I saw like men like Eminem, like why you got me over here in my feelings? Like,
That's funny.
but a girl said Eminem wrote the song for all the kids that never got to say goodbye to their dad.
I don't need to listen to that
Oh,
then.
I mean,
Yeah.
I was bawling.
Yeah.
So I really liked
You
the whole
liked it?
thing. Yeah. And there's like one or two songs that I was like, but
Yeah.
for the most part, I liked it all.
Okay, I'll give it a listen.
Mhm.
I'll give it a listen. We've been talking about TikTok. Are you on Snapchat much?
Mm-mm.
I'm on there enough to try to keep up with Jackson and to whatever, but I feel like all of a sudden that I asked him today, I was like, do people still post on there? I was like, there's only a couple of people that post. I was like, or did they like unfriend me or whatever you do? He was like, well, who? And I gave him a couple names. He was like, yeah, they don't post. And I was like, okay. I said, I see this guy sometimes. He was like, yeah, he posts every once in a while. And I said, I see this person. And he was like, yeah, Mama, this people just aren't doing it. You didn't get unfriended. But I have to tell you, I felt like a celebrity the other day because so he had football practice, picked him up from football practice, and they had registration. And he'd already been registered online, like saying he's coming to school, but we had to pick up his schedule. And you pay if you want to buy a yearbook or go ahead and pay on their lunch accounts, all that kind of stuff. Figure out the bus riding situation and all that. So I pick him up after football, and I'm walking with him through the parking lot, and it's only for sophomores. The other people have their own days.
Mhm.
And so his other friends that are upperclassmen were getting in their cars or walking towards their vehicles or whatever, and I keep hearing, "Hey, Mrs. Hill," and I wave, "Hey, Miss Hill," and I'm like, "Oh, these people know me."
You're on the float at the parade.
I know, that's how I felt. I was like, Jackson, who was that? And because the windows were real tinted, and you told me, and I was like, oh. And then later I was like, I didn't know they knew me. And he was like, well, and I was like, I think I was famous because I was walking with you. And he was like, maybe. But that I just love it when people recognize me. It's stupid. Like I love it when people say hey to me. Is that bad?
When I used to sub
Yeah.
for the school, that was the worst because I would like just go to Walmart and I'd be in like, like sweatpants and like a
Oh
t-shirt,
yeah.
hoodie or
Oh
whatever.
yeah.
And it'd be like these little kids running up to you, giving you hugs, and the parents are like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I'm a sub.
Yeah. Hands up. Hands up.
But it'd be like, Mrs. Navarro,
Yeah.
like, and like run
Yeah.
over
I used to get that with football a lot
yeah.
too, but I did know most of those parents, but sometimes they would be like if the dad usually brought and the mom's with the kid and they're looking at me like, how do you know him? And I'm like, football.
Yeah.
So if you see me in public, make sure you speak. You know, so I never see you in public, and we used to always see each other.
Yeah.
But since we've been doing this and hanging out, I don't see you in public anymore.
See, it was God's way of
I
making
think
us
so.
run into each other.
I think. So that was good.
You were stuck on like fidgeting and like
Yeah.
so I had just texted Brandon. I'm like, I need to order a new chair. Like this one like hurt my back. It's not comfortable anymore. So he's like, well, just pick one out, whatever. So it was Prime Day.
Yes. Yoo-hoo!
And I was like, okay. So I'm like searching and and I sit in like all weird positions. I'll sit like cross-legged. I'll sit with like my legs
Right.
up and just put the keyboard on my lap. Like
Yeah.
I'm all over the place. And they have these chairs.
Yes, I was going to ask you. They're
Yeah.
like a chair and a half on most.
Yeah, and like they all have arms, and so you can sit like crisscross applesauce. So,
Yes. You're so mature.
and also like if you like take off something like something on the bottom, like you can like kind of like rock on it too. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is perfect. So it was on sale for like $47.
Nice.
But yeah, so I'm excited for my new chair.
I just bought a new desk, but I wish I would have gotten one that raises up. Does this one raise up?
No, Brandon left the thing that you can like
Yes.
just put on top
I
of your
had that
desk.
at the office, but then when we came home and stuff, I obviously didn't bring that home. But yeah, I enjoyed.
I can't type and stand up at the same time.
I almost said I enjoyed changing positions.
Don't we all learn?
I don't say crisscross applesauce though, but I do like to move around a little bit and all that. And I have one of those things under my desk for my feet to raise my feet up. That helps too.
Well, I was, searching chairs, and they've got all these like fancy ones. They've got leg rests that pop out now, and
really,
yeah, and I was like, but I fidget too much. Like I don't,
yeah,
sit still enough to.
I don't sit still enough either. I'm kind of, and if I'm on a call and I'm not like actively displaying or something, like I will stand up or walk around for a little bit if it's not something that I need to like visually. Well, when's your chair supposed to be here?
This Tuesday.
Awesome. Awesome.
Tuesday, I think.
Yeah, you'll probably love that.
I'm excited to be able to sit comfortably.
Yeah.
Crisscross applesauce.
Crisscross applesauce. Grown up with your pink hair and braids.
You gotta stay young somehow.
And well, you're rocking it. We're gonna get more rain today. I cannot wait.
I don't know if y'all can hear it, but we got lots of thunder.
I'm gonna go out, and if it rains today, I'll video myself. I'm gonna dance in the rain.
Oh.
Clothed, not naked.
I saw
naked.
There was this dude, and like he looks like not like a dancer.
Yeah.
But he was out in the rain, like trying to do the like the sliding.
Oh jeez.
Like doing like the body pops.
Oh yeah. Yeah. How was it going for him? Wasn't.
Somebody recorded him and made it go viral.
And I'll have Jackson record me if I go out and dance in the rain. We'll share that. I don't mind.
Dylan used to when he was little. We would play in the rain all the time.
There's something just so fun about it when you don't like when you're not trying to run in and keep your hair from falling. If you're just outside in the rain, like why not?
We would go and like run around the pool.
Yeah.
And see who can run around quickest.
Yeah. So it has rained the past few days, like this time every day or a little bit later. And Jackson was running to the garage. We have like a little cabinet that it's like a sub pantry. So he was like, I'm going to run out and see what's in there. I was like, okay. So he ran, and our garage is disconnected. So there's like a little driveway and then you get in the garage. So he goes out the porch, goes in, and then runs back. He said, I'm so fast, I did not even get wet. I was like, shut up. You are not faster than the rain.
Just call him Dash.
Oh my gosh. This child.
So our Am I the A-hole?
Yes.
I took from the Bad Moms or Mama Drama,
one of those
on Facebook, because I tagged you in it, and I was like, this needs to be our next.
Yep. And I was like, absolutely.
Yeah. So
absolutely.
To read
absolutely.
And I went and found it on Reddit.
You did?
I found the actual post.
Okay. Am I the a-hole for rejecting my friend request to have an open relationship with my husband? What? Okay. I, 30-year-old female, have been married to my husband, 32 male, for 5 years. We have 2 beautiful kids, 5-year-old male, 6-year-old female. and have a very strong relationship and are happy together. Recently, my friend, Lisa, 29 female, confided in me that she has developed feelings for my husband. She said that she finds him attractive and admires our relationship, and she asked if we consider having an open relationship so she could be with him too. Oh my gosh. I was shocked and told her no, explaining that my husband and I are committed to each other and that we are not interested in an open relationship. Lisa got upset and accused me of being selfish and closed minded. She argued that modern relationships should be flexible and that I was denying her happiness. Since then, Lisa's been distant and has been spreading rumors in our friend group suggesting I'm overly possessive and controlling. This has caused a lot of tension, and some of our mutual friends are now taking sides. My husband is supportive of my decision, but I feel guilty for the drama it's caused. So, am I the a-hole for rejecting my friend's request to have an open relationship with my husband? Edit. This attracted a lot more attention very fast than I thought it would. I read most of your comments, and I think tomorrow I'll talk to the whole friend group about it and I'll update after. Update number 1. I love it when we have updates. After reading some of your comments, I decided to bring the group out for coffee and told them all about what Lisa said and the real story. I also showed them the Reddit post. After showing them, there were 2 girls that were still on Lisa's side. So I took some advice from the comments and said, let Lisa F your husband and then you can be on her side. After that, everyone was on my side, thankfully. Lisa wasn't happy at all, and she started ranting about how it wasn't fair. She just wanted to experiment with something new, and it wasn't even that bad of a request. You're making it such a big deal, which I didn't get. Me and the rest of the group have officially cut contact with Lisa, just hoping she doesn't try to reach out. We'll update again if something happens. Also, just clarifying that Lisa, who asked my husband for an open marriage, he also rejected, saying that even if I was, I would never want to be with you. I'm thinking of cutting off the ladies that were on Lisa's side for so long, but I'm not sure if they heard a different story or not. So should I? Whoa. No, you're not the a-hole.
No, no, and no. And the fact that any of your friend group
Right,
could possibly
right,
be on her side,
and right,
even after you explained it, all the way up until let her F your husband.
right.
I'm sorry, like, that's weird.
That's very weird. But being on all these pages, which I keep for entertainment purposes only, there's a lot of lifestyles out there like this.
Yeah.
And
But if they're friends, like, she would know that that's not their lifestyle, right?
right,
So to approach somebody,
who's not even in that lifestyle and never even, I mean, I guess mentioned, hey, we thought about trying it out, just to be like, hey, so
yeah. And then
that's
to go and try to get everybody on
on
her
her,
side,
and then to be mad when she said
but I
no.
want to know what she told everybody. Like, I want Lisa's story. Like, I
Oh
want to know
yeah.
what she, well,
How
not
did
even
she
Lisa,
get them on her
not
side?
even Lisa's story. Like, I want to hear what Lisa told everybody. Like, I
Yeah.
don't want to hear what she has to say because I think she would probably just lie about it. Not that I know Lisa. Like, this is all my like speculation. So
You you want to know what she said so
I
that
want to know the
everybody got on
story.
her
Yeah.
side.
Mhm.
Yeah, why would you even think that
Like,
that would
because how
be
can you even spin that
right?
to get people on your side? I don't understand. Like,
Yeah.
how you can spin that
Unless it's
story.
totally unrelated to this.
Well, it doesn't sound like it is.
I know, that's the only thing I can think of though, that
Yeah.
if it's just totally off the wall.
Could you imagine? What would you like? How would you?
I would think somebody was joking.
I
I would be like, there's no way you're serious
but
right now.
did she go to the husband before or after she went to the friend?
Oh, I'm thinking after.
I'd be in jail because I
I could not, yeah, I can't.
would have.
I'm pretty possessive. Um, apparently, according to Lisa, I like to ruin people's happiness.
Okay, they approached you, whatever, bad like judgment if you had never given off
Yeah,
that lifestyle before, and that's hey, I want your husband.
right.
Like, okay, whatever, like
Yeah,
let it slide. But then to go and ask your husband,
right. And
that is crossing like a major line.
yeah, yeah. Because what if, well,
I mean, the wife obviously wasn't comfortable with it.
right,
It wasn't like they were gonna have a throuple. It just sounds like she wanted to bang the husband.
right,
So it wasn't even like it was gonna be like a pleasurable for everybody.
right. Right. It was just a, hey, let me take him off
I,
your hands for a day.
I want to
Yeah.
experience your husband is what I'm getting from
The
that.
experience.
Matt, right?
Yeah. Oh, that was early in the pod, wasn't it? Yeah, that is just not like I don't even know how I would respond in that moment other than to think they were kidding. And I think I would do a lot of that, just like stuttering and speechless.
Friends were they too? Like I want to like were they best friends?
They
Was
no,
it
they
like
weren't. No,
acquaintances?
I think she's new to this friend group. That's what I'm thinking.
I need more information.
What did the Reddit look like?
It was just like, no, you're not.
Was anybody on her side
No,
or on Lisa's side?
no. I mean, other than, well, have you ever given off like those?
Those vibes.
Yeah, but I want to know, one, how long have they been friends?
Mm-hmm.
Two, did she go to the husband after or
Right.
before?
What was the timeline?
Yeah. Three, what she told all the friend group
Yep.
that made the friend group on her side.
Yeah.
Because in my head, like there's nothing that other than, well, she told me that she would want to try it one day, and
Right.
now she's like
Right.
acting all holier than thou.
Okay, so one of somebody we mutually know came to you and said, "I wanted to be with Meredith," and I can't see you being like, "Well, you're right. She is getting in the way of your
Yeah,
happiness."
no. I'd be like, are you
Right, right.
yeah.
Crazy
So I
pants.
want some more information and like
Yeah.
on a background of the dynamic of the group.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
how long have everybody been friends?
Right. And I'm
And
assuming Lisa's signal. Nope, signal.
maybe she wants to trade.
Maybe.
Like that was wild to me.
That is crazy. That is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not like they're in like their early 20s.
Right.
Not that that's like make a big difference, but like you're kind of like more
Openish, I would think.
experimental.
Yeah. Like
Um,
they've been married for
they got
several
kids.
years with
Yeah.
kids. And, oh, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, she's 30 and 32. I mean, it's like young 30s, but still, like they've got kids. They've been
They're
married.
settled.
Yeah, it's not like it's like they're just dating and
Right.
they're in college and
Right. Like the one last week where they had to replace the limo
yeah,
stuff.
they spread chlamydia.
Yes. Yeah, no, she is not the a-hole at all.
No. So I did find another one.
Okay,
So
here we go.
here we go.
Okay, am I the a-hole for suggesting a threesome to my date who brought a friend along and expected me to pay? There's a lot in that first sentence. I've been talking to Denise for a couple of weeks, and our schedules finally aligned last weekend. I said we should get food and see where it goes. She didn't want me to pick her up, so we arranged to meet up. I got there early and had a beer while I waited. When she showed up, she had a friend along. I thought maybe it was her ride or she wanted someone to meet me in case things got sketchy. Nope, the girl sat with us at the restaurant. She ordered drinks and a meal. She was cool and I enjoyed talking to her almost as much as with Denise. Dun dun. When the bill came, the waitress asked how we were paying. I asked for a couple of seconds. The waitress left and asked Denise what was going on. She said that her friend was alone to make sure I was a good guy and that I should be paying for her too. I said I'd only asked her out and not the friend, and then I would not be paying for her. Denise said that I should be trying to impress her and I was failing. I saw what was going on and decided to bounce. I said that I would pay for supper if a threesome was on the table. Denise and her friend got offended and said that I was a pig. When the waitress came back, I paid for my meal and drinks. I also made sure to give her a cash tip and explained that it was a tip and not to be applied to the rest of the bill. Then I got up and left. Denise texted and called me dozens of times to insult me and called me cheap. I may have been vulgar, but I don't think I was in the wrong. Am I the a-hole?
Here's the update.
Okay.
He made actually a whole separate post.
Okay. Update. Strange update about.
Well, hold on. Do you think that he's a hole for this before we even get to the update?
Okay. No. I mean, maybe could have been handled better by asking for the threesome. But I don't think he's an a-hole for not wanting to pay for the friend.
See, I've seen like quite a bit of these, like as I'm searching for stuff about the woman bringing a friend and
I've not heard of that before.
and expecting the man to pay for both of them. What I
Okay.
think is weird. Like I think it's really weird that you would
Yeah.
expect your date. One, I get like, hey, I'm sending a picture to my friend. If anything happens to
Yeah.
me, we know it's you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I mean, like something like that.
Yeah.
I get that because people are crazy nowadays, and Lord knows we see enough
Yeah.
crime stuff. But I think it's weird.
I'm not gonna lie too, and I'm an old-fashioned girl. Like I'm all for femininity, but I'm also for the man, also paying. But on a first date like this, where you haven't even really met, I'd be okay with them just splitting the bill,
Yeah.
without the friend involved.
Right.
I don't see why she just assumed that he was going to be paying for it. Now, with that said, on the flip side, I always make sure that Jackson does pay for his,
Right.
girls.
Right.
Like I'm saying that, but I also want Jackson to always pay. If
Right.
that,
No,
I'm talking
yeah.
out of both sides of my mouth.
No, and Dylan has been raised the same way
Right.
with,
Hey,
you,
you pay for them.
right.
Yeah.
But this, like, third person,
Yeah, that you're not planning for and not, I mean,
I don't know. I think it's weird. I think it's weird to bring another person on the date as a third wheel.
yeah,
It's not like it's a double date. It's
right.
not like it's
I think it's strange too. Like to come in and meet them and leave, I could see. Or to
right.
sit at the bar while they're waiting on your table
Right.
to get a vibe
Mhm.
and to know who you're talking to. Yeah, but to sit on, that seems really immature to me.
And I've been seeing it a lot, like on the different
Always the
page.
female.
Yeah. I just think it's weird.
I do too. And maybe it's just that we're not in the dating scene.
Yeah.
Well, are we?
No, we are not. Absolutely not.
But I mean, it might just be the way that they're asked. I wish I knew how old they were. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
And I don't think that what he did was right. I don't think like suggesting on the
Right,
first date is the way to
right,
go either.
right.
But I can see where he would be like, well, hell, if I'm paying for this, not that he has to pay and that's
Right,
what he gets in return.
right.
I can see his train of thought of like, I'm gonna make if they want to try to make me a fool, I'm gonna
Yeah.
say something back.
Well, I think that's awfully presumptuous to even think that, first of all, that he's going to pay.
Right.
I mean, again, you would want them to, but if they don't, whatever. And then it's presumptuous for her to bring somebody without even asking him the courtesy of saying, "Hey, this is what I'm doing," and then to expect him to. What if he had $42 to his name,
Mm-hmm.
and that was enough for their dinner at Applebee's,
Yeah.
and he didn't, or whatever they're doing. I mean, that he doesn't say that that's the case,
Yeah.
but I mean, that's just. I feel like very crass on her part,
Right.
to not
So
ask.
the other one that I saw that was very similar, he said that they went out to a nicer restaurant. And so the guy, just got like a whatever, chicken and vegetables.
Yeah.
Well, the girl that he was on a date with and the friend wanted surf and turf,
Okay.
started ordering all sorts of like beverages,
Uh,
appetizers. I mean, they were there to rack up the bill, eat
I was
good.
gonna say,
Like that was the point.
yeah,
So when the bill came, he something similar, like, like, well, I mean, like I would like she's
right.
paying for herself, like I
What are we
will
doing
pay for
here?
you,
Yeah.
but like, and they're like, no, you need to pay for both of us, and you're the man, you need to pay.
Yeah.
So he excused himself to go to the restroom, paid for his, and left.
I mean,
I get it, because
right.
I think, like you said, it's presumptuous to expect him to pay for not just yours, but for both of yours.
Yeah.
And if you in the other case, they were like racking up the bill because they thought it was a free meal.
Right. They literally just wanted a meal.
Right. But in this case,
I'm not sure.
I'm on the
His
fence.
yeah, it says he kind of had a good time talking with everybody, and they had a good time, but I just think that that was really rude to expect that. And as the friend, I don't know what the friend said. Like, was the friend like, "Yeah, pay for me"?
So let's go to his update.
Oh, is that what's in the update? Oh, he's dating the friend now, isn't he? Okay. Update. I ran into Denise's friend while I was out with my dog about a week ago. I prepared myself for a verbal assault after our last encounter. Instead, she apologized. She said that it had been Denise's idea for her to come along, and she had been surprised when Denise expected me to pay the full bill. She said she had thought I was a toxic a-hole for suggesting a threesome, but that she had seen the story on TikTok and recognized it was my point of view. She tracked down the post on Reddit and the comments stung, but they had been fair. She said that she had enjoyed talking to me and offered to take me out for supper, to her treat, to make up for the last time. I declined, but I offered to let her buy me a coffee at the dog-friendly cafe by the park. Okay, I already like him because of the doggos. We had a really great time, and she's the sort of person I was looking for when I had to ask out Denise. I got her info, and we've been talking for a week now. We're going to see Twisters on Friday, my treat. That must be today, because it comes out today. So something good came out of it. Thanks all and wish me luck.
So it worked out for him.
It did work out for him and her. What's Denise gonna say? Well, I think that's funny. That's a funny update. And yeah, Twisters comes out today. I want to see it. Have you seen the previews for
Yes,
it?
I have. I want to see it too.
That's definitely one you want to see in the theater, though.
Yeah.
with all the surround sound and everything. That's funny that he ran into her and that he was ready to be ringed, but she was cool about it.
Could you imagine though, like going on TikTok and seeing like your
Your
date?
story?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's like out
No,
there.
no. But he never said her name. She's always Denise's friend.
Yeah. Well, he might have said it like on his TikTok
Maybe.
story.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know either. Yeah, I mean, it worked out. I still don't think he's an a-hole. If he said it as a joke, trying to break the ice or whatever, like to make them kind of see his point of view, like, I'm really okay with this.
Yeah, I am too.
And I hope you have a good time at the movies, dude.
Same. See, and this is why I will never date ever.
Ever?
Like, never. I am good. Ever. Mm-mm.
Well,
I like read too many things on
yeah.
all of these sites. Like, no,
Well, if you ever, get to that point
nope.
where you, yeah, in 15 years, and you do change your mind, I'll go with you and get the free meal. Ew.
I have no desire
Yeah,
to ever have to deal with people. Like,
I know.
like people are so weird now.
People are so weird.
They're so weird.
And I mean, I really try not to judge and to each his own and all that kind of stuff. But
I judge.
with the furries and the,
Oh.
I know. I try to let everybody live their own lives, but it's just also weird.
Like people are so pushy now with
Yeah.
their views,
Yeah.
and like if you don't agree with them, and I am not an agreeable person. Like I would not be somebody like anybody wants to date. I am
Lies,
I
Steph.
am not somebody anybody would want to date.
But you're very right. Like everybody expects everybody to agree with them, and if you don't, it's you're the one that's intolerant.
Yeah. So I am not the ideal dating person at all. That ship has sailed.
Are you too old and set in your ways now?
I'm not even that I'm set in my ways. Like, I don't understand.
Speaking of, I've learned something this week. Did you know? Okay, so we know that when a dude dates an older lady, she's a cougar. They're called cubs. I did not know this. So the younger dudes are called cubs. And I read it going down a rabbit hole about Reddit, and this lady was talking about her cub, and I was like, what?
It's creepy to me. Like the
Yeah.
whole term. Like it's just
Cougar and a cub.
no.
Yeah.
I'm not meant for this type of stuff. I'm happily Rex, you are my life companion.
Perfect. Perfect.
I did see there's a rescue and it's called the Shirtless Rescue and it's like this dude that goes and like rescues it's like
Oh,
the rescues and whatever.
yeah.
But like he's like a fit dude
That's
or
his
whatever.
gimmick. Yeah.
So he goes and like he rescues the dogs right for
Oh.
like these kill shelters.
Oh.
So he brings the dog home and he's got like this beautiful house and like
Yeah.
all this land and his wife lives there obviously and whatever. Like they're happily married. Wonderful for them.
Yeah.
It's like my dream. He's got like 40 rescue dogs and they're all like frolicking on the land and they're all just playing together and like he like integrates the new puppy in.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I was like, this is like my dream.
That's so sweet.
Not the dude. Like I just saw the dogs.
Right. Right. Yeah. Me too. Me too.
And I'm on Raccoon.
Oh my gosh.
Now. Did you see that video I posted?
Yes.
With like Rexy needs a bestie?
Yes. They're so great. I love raccoons.
I want a raccoon so bad.
Have you seen the one? So they wash their food before they eat it. Have you seen the one where they give them cotton candy and it like disintegrates? Oh, poor little. And I love the one where it's like a voiceover and it's at nighttime and there's two raccoons and you can see like a spotlight go on them. One of them says to the other one, "Play cool, play cool."
And don't act suspicious.
Don't act suspicious, something like that. Yeah. And it turns and he's like frozen on 2 feet. Yeah, it's great. It's great. There was one on our road the other day and I was like, "Brian, can we play stop?" And he was like, "Are you nuts?" And I was like,
if you raise them from when they're little babies.
Little baby.
And they just want to love on you. Yeah. And they love dogs.
All right. Okay. Thanks everybody for listening. Tell your friends, please. They'll really like us if they give us a shot.
We have a new review.
We do?
On Apple.
Positive?
Positive.
Yay! I mean, what would it be?
Obviously.
But if you get your friends to listen to us and they tell us that you listen to us, I'll take you and buy you water at the gas station. I'll put 1 gallon of fuel in your car. I mean, is that not... Can we do that? Can we bribe people like that?
No, but I had no clue where that was going.
I mean, I'm willing to do that for you guys, and for our podcast.
Oh, that's awesome.
Wait, what if there's like 600 new people and I have to buy 600 gallons of gas?
Just kidding. But for real, we would love for you guys to share and encourage your friends to listen to us
Yeah.
because we love y'all.
We do. We love y'all. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.